Now, Bank of America shows dollar collapse is imminent. How silver will blast. With our boost in gold lately, everyone is looking closely at silver, wondering when silver going to move, when silver is going to move. Well, here we have it. Major banks like Bank of America have announced in the past month that the dollar is in serious trouble. And when that dollar is in serious trouble, that's good news for the value of silver, because that means that people pull out of the dollar and they go into precious metals like silver. And for us as silver stackers, this just reinforces the notion that the dollar is a risky place to put our wealth. And it shows us that we are on the right track when we swap out our fiat currency for gold. We truly know what we're doing, and we should not second guess this long-term endeavor of stacking silver and holding it for years, and if we can, decades. Look, this is from CNBC. The U.S. national debt is rising by $1 trillion about every 100 days. That should really make us stop and take a breath. $1 trillion about every 100 days. Oh my gosh. That is just massive. According to this article, the debt load of the U.S. is growing at a quicker clip in recent months, increasing about $1 trillion nearly every 100 days. The nation's debt permanently crossed over to $34 trillion on January 4th, according to data from the U.S. Department of Treasury. It reached $33 trillion on September 15th, 2023, and $32 trillion on June 15th, 2023. See how fast this is going? Hitting this accelerated pace. Before that, the $1 trillion move higher from $31 trillion took about 8 months. U.S. debt, which is the amount of money the federal government borrows to cover operating expenses, it now stands at nearly $34.4 trillion as of Wednesday. Bank of America investment strategist Michael Hartnett believes the 100-day pattern will remain intact with the move from $34 trillion to $35 trillion. So this is a major bank, Bank of America, looking at this, and they're biting their nails. So, and we know that the entire world is watching. It's little wonder that gold has shot up the way it has. It's not a surprise that we've seen this big kick in metals, because that is what happens when people sense that treasuries are a bad place to put their wealth. They go to precious metals. They go to silver, and they go to gold. So to have this being told to us from these higher ups really tells us that everyone's watching. Now the BRICS nations see this, and they are ready to pounce. They're creating a blockchain payment system, and we've been looking at this. This is from an article on thecradle.co, and this is titled "Russia Reveals Work on Blockchain Payment System for BRICS Nations." The BRICS nations are just pleased to hear a huge bank like Bank of America point the finger at our massive national debt. They're happy to see this happen, because they're just waiting in the wings. And this article tells us that Russian President aide Yuri Ushakov revealed on March 5th that the BRICS bloc of emerging economies is considering developing an independent payment system based on digital currencies and blockchain to reduce reliance on Western financial systems. That's exactly what they want. They want to reduce reliance on the dollar. And when that happens, when everybody's pulling out, that's when people go in to silver. And we will see that big jump. This is clearly why we've seen this bump in gold. I mean, all of this comes into play. They continue, we believe that creating an independent BRICS payment system is an important goal for the future, which would be based on state-of-the-art tools such as digital technologies and blockchain. The main thing is to make sure it is convenient for governments common people and businesses, as well as cost-effective and free of politics. Ushakov tells this to the state-run news outlet TASS. The Kremlin official added, work will continue to develop the contingent reserve arrangement, primarily regarding the use of currencies other than the US dollar. Absolutely. Look at what's going on with the yuan just in the past 6 months. A few years ago, even 5 years ago, if you told me that the yuan would start to become a player on the international scene, I would not believe you. And now look what we have. So all of this is all part of the de-dollarization that shows us people are pulling out of treasuries. They're pulling out of that security, and that boosts silver, it boosts gold, it boosts metals. The details of the system, such as whether BRICS will develop its own blockchain or use an existing platform, were not disclosed by this official, by Ushakov. But it certainly is in the makings. And the frightening part about this is that we've known since back in 2018, we've known that this would happen. I'm going to show you, according to a study by the Global Future Council on Financial and Monetary Systems, they wrote back in 2018. They wrote back then about decentralization, referring to the dollar. It says, today's centralized global monetary and financial system, featuring a dominant US dollar, mutates into a world with multiple reserve currencies and financial powers of influence. They were looking at the future. This is 2018. And they're looking at what's going to happen. This was coming down the pike from 2018. They knew this was going to happen. It says that, again, today's centralized global monetary and financial system featuring a dominant US dollar mutates into a world with multiple reserve currencies. We never thought we'd see this. Multiple reserve currencies and financial powers of influence, mirroring the shift from the British pound to the US dollar as a reserve asset. As economic importance traditionally leads financial and monetary preeminence, the euro and the renminbi are likely to gain importance alongside the US dollar and increasingly meet the world's demand for the reserve currencies and safe assets. Now, there's no mention of yuan, there's no mention of BRICS, but what there is this concept that the US dollar will be taken off of its pedestal. And this was seen, again, this is back in 2018, where this study took place, realizing what was coming down. They continue to say, again, from 2018, we will see the decreasing use of paper money, digital money issued privately or by central banks, and decentralized ledgers proliferate with implications for monetary and financial policy making. That's exactly this blockchain that's being created for the BRICS nations. In countries where changes are rapid, again, BRICS nations, the growing fintech industry is providing specialized financial services using a range of digital innovations, including those that supply credit and payment services to households and businesses through online platforms. Acceptance and adoption of cryptocurrencies will continue to spread. These developments will bring together markets, institutions, and infrastructure in a multipolar, complex, and interconnected world, which will challenge the conduct of monetary policy and have implications for financial stability. With a debt that we're seeing in our country, I don't know if we could even use the word financial stability, but this is exactly what was coming down the road from 2018 until now. So the part that really has me sitting up straight and for us as a community of silver stackers is really the shocking voice from above of an institution like Bank of America. And Bank of America is not alone, right? JP Morgan, there's other large banks in the past month, they've been saying the same thing, that they're pointing the finger at this giant debt and they're feeling the insecurity of what's going on, because this clearly, absolutely impacts them as much as it impacts us as regular, everyday people who are stacking precious metals. And again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I think that when we see what's going on around us with all of this struggle over debt, that tells me that not only do we need to stack silver while it's still tangible before it really shoots out of our reach. Not only that, but we should be keeping cash on hand. I think that even though we swap out our fiat currency, that cash for metals, for what's ahead in our future, I think it's good to have cash along with precious metals, and all of it tells us that we're on the right track. And while silver is still within our reach, I think we should still go out and grab as much silver as we can. Gold, of course, this is not the time to buy gold. I don't even think this is time to cash out gold. I think gold is going to continue, and it's going to keep getting higher and higher. I think that people who are cashing out are really just panicking, or they're following this fear of missing out, and they're thinking that the price is going to drop even farther, drop down farther, and they'll miss it. But cashing out now just for a $200 profit, that's not how stacking works. That's not how stacking silver works. It's not how stacking gold works. We hold these metals, and we keep holding for years and decades, and we just when the spot price jumps up like it does for gold recently, we just enjoy that, and it reassures us that what we're doing is correct, and that we should continue to hold because it will continue to increase in value.